Oh man, it seemed like only yesterday.
One of the most exciting days that I've experienced so far since creating this channel. I can't wait to get into this, and I can't wait to share with you guys. Holy cow. This is the YS640S from YODER Smokers.
Hey guys, Smitty here with Just Pellet Barbecue, and it does seem like only yesterday that I received the YS640S from YODER Smokers. And I mean, it's been 2 years, I can't believe it. So I'm going to do a 2-year review of the YS640, tell you the ins and outs, the ups and downs, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and if I recommend the pellet grill from YODER Smokers. So let's get started. And I'll go ahead and give you a little spoiler alert. I have had 0 issues with that pellet grill. I just went back and made a list, and I have owned 15 pellet grills before I got the YODER Smokers YS640. 15 pellet grills before this pellet grill. And this is the only pellet grill that I have ever had where I didn't have at least one flame out, and I have not had at least one back burn into the hopper. Let me explain a little bit. For those of you that are new to pellet grills, a flame out is when your pellet grill is running and the flame goes out, but that auger is going to continue to pump pellets into that fire pot, and because there's no flame to burn them, it just overflows, and before you know it, you have a huge mess in the bottom of your pellet grill. The temperature goes down, basically your cooked is ruined. You've got a bunch of smelly charcoal looking pellets in the bottom of your grill. And worst case scenario is that big pile of pellets ends up igniting, blows your lid wide open, and then you really have a mess on your hands. This is the first pellet grill that I have had where I have not had at least one flame out. And that is strictly because of the design of the auger and where it's at in location to the fire pot. Also, along with that, I have not had one single back burn because where the auger is located in the YODER compared to where the location is of the fire pot, it's really almost impossible for that to happen. And so no flame outs, no back burns into the hopper whatsoever. A back burn, basically you're cooking at higher temperatures. You shut your grill off. And because you were cooking at such high temperatures, most pellet grills, the auger is right there in the fire pot. And what happens is those higher temperatures cause the pellets to actually burn into the auger tube. And they burn back up into your hopper. And then you have smoke coming out the top of your hopper from up under your hopper lid. That's a back burn. Not one single back burn with the YODER, and that's because of the way that it's designed. So it's it really prevents two major issues that people have with pellet grills, and that's strictly because of the design. And let me talk about the design a little bit. The Yoder is made in Yoder, Kansas with American workers, and it's designed there, it's built there, everything. And so they have been able to tweak things on that pit that other manufacturers can't really do. You know, a lot of the leading manufacturers of pellet grills, they're all basically built in the same place, and that's in China. And they're all stamped out, and they're pushed onto the American market. And because they're all stamped out, they're all made in the same place, they're pretty much made in the same manner. Yoder, however, because they build their own, have the ability to tweak things and move things however they see fit. And that's one of the great things about getting a pit made here in America with American workers. Let's talk about how it has performed from a temperature standpoint. Talk about the controller. It has a Fireboard controller, and it is paired with the Fireboard app. And I absolutely love the way that this thing has performed from a temperature standpoint. And I have said from the beginning, the very first pellet grill that I ever got was a Grill-A-Grill Silverback. And it had a little bit of swing to it. And some people will argue that if they set it at 300 degrees, they want it to be at 300 degrees the entire cook. And I would argue that that's going to produce less smoke. The Yoder has a little bit of a swing in the temperature, so if I have it set at 300 degrees, it may get up to 315, 320 at times. It may get down as low as 285, 290. But at the end of that cook, when I go back and look on the Fireboard app, the average temperature for the duration of that cook is, it might be 298 degrees, the average cook, when I have it set at 300 degrees. So you're talking about a 2-degree difference in what I had it set at and the average temperature over that entire cook. That's exactly what I want, because when you have a swing, that means that it's dumping more pellets in there, which is going to create more smoke. And then when it gets up a little bit, say 315, 320, it'll slow down on the pellets, and that'll start bringing that temperature down. And then when it gets below 300, it's going to dump more pellets back in there, which is going to create more smoke and come back up. And that swing over that entire cook is going to give you more smoke overall. And that's exactly the way this pit performs, and I absolutely love it. But the thing about it is, it's consistently that way every single time. And I love the way it performs. I love the app that is paired with the Fireboard controller, because I can go back and look and see how it performed over time. Also, if I forget what time I put a pork butt on, for example, I can go back and look and see exactly at the point where I put the meat on, because there's going to be a temperature drop right where I put the meat on. And so I can go from that time on and figure out how long I've had the meat on. It's really convenient, and I love it. I love the temperature swings. I love the amount of smoke that it puts on the meats, and I couldn't be happier as far as that part is concerned. Let's talk about build quality. This is one of the things that I can't emphasize enough, is this thing is built for longevity. It's going to be here for many, many, many years to come. I'll be able to hand this grill down to our kids and then possibly grandkids. And I truly cannot say that about, again, I've had 15 other pellet grills. There's not a single other pellet grill that I have owned that I can say that about, except this one. And by the way, this one is the only one that is made in America. It is just truly built on another level compared to any and all of those other pellet grills. The thickness of the steel, how it's built, the components inside, whether that be the drip tray, whether that be the fire pot itself, whether that be the design of it as far as the length of the auger, how long it is, the motor, the fans. It's got dual fans in there to keep everything nice and cool as far as components go, as well as providing air to the fire pot itself to keep that fire going. Everything about it is built to last. It is, you know, again, I've said it over and over about other pellet grills. Some people say, you know, this thing's built like a tank. That's a joke, unless you're not talking about a YODER or a couple other brands that are built here in the United States of America. The YODER Smoker YS640 is built like a tank. You feel it. I mean, honestly, guys, I just got rid of, I had 2 Traegers left, and I just got rid of one, so now I only have one left. Day before yesterday, the guy came and picked it up. It was a young man that I taught when he was in high school, and he came and picked it up. It was a Ironwood 650, and I rolled it out there to his truck. He jumped up on the tailgate, grabbed the shelf. I was on the ground, reached underneath the hopper. 1, 2, 3, me and him picked it up. And I mean, I literally picked it up chest high to get it on his tailgate. Me and him both picked it up, put it on his truck. Me and 5 other guys, there's no way we could pick up that YS640 and put it on the bed of a truck. It's just not going to happen. That's the difference in materials used to build that versus the China-made stuff. It's just different. It's on another level. And the hinges, everything about it is just top-notch, top quality. And I really couldn't be happier with the construction. The shelves, I mean, the shelves, both of those shelves that are on the YS640 are probably weigh half as much as that Traeger Ironwood 650 that I just got rid of. Super solid stainless steel. They look fantastic when you shine them up. The whole grill itself with that competition cart looks fantastic when it's shined up. It makes you proud to cook on the thing. And couldn't be happier as far as those things are concerned. Let's talk about versatility. And this is one of the things that I really think YODER does well, and it makes this whole pit shine as far as an overall versatile cooker. Let's talk about that 3-tiered rack system. I have cooked some of the best beef jerky that I've ever made on that thing, and it was super easy because I had 3 different racks to fill up, and you've got plenty of space to do as much jerky as you want at one time. It's easy to put in. It fits in there perfectly. The design of it, it's very well made. Stainless steel. You can slide each drawer out, fill it up, slide it back in. It's easy to take out when you get done. It's easy to clean, and it just worked fantastic. You can use it also to load up cast iron skillets of different casseroles and things like that. Keep food warm on like a Thanksgiving or a Christmas dinner, those types of things. Very versatile as far as that 3-tier rack system, and I think it's something that's probably underutilized. I probably haven't utilized it as enough as I probably should have, but it is a game changer as far as I'm concerned. The YODER griddle, the cast iron griddle, it's 300 and something square inches of cooking space on that griddle. It's like 3/4 of an inch or an inch thick of cast iron. It's ribbed on one side, smooth on the other. I did a full breakfast video I have. I'll put a link in the description box to these videos that I mentioned. Full breakfast, bacon, eggs, pancakes, turned out fantastic. Smash burger tacos, fajitas, all types of stuff that I have cooked. Seared ahi tuna steaks turned out fantastic on there. Got videos on all that stuff on the channel. Go check those out. I'll put a link to them down in the description box. That cast iron griddle has performed phenomenal, and I absolutely love it. Smash burgers, we cook smash burgers all the time because it's so easy. You take 2 of the grates out. Again, this goes back to form and function, and being able to make your own stuff when you're fabricating your own stuff. You take 2 of the grill sections out, and that griddle fits right in that slot. So you could have that griddle on the left hand side, and you still have 2 sets of grill grates on the right hand side to do things as well. Absolutely love it. Really adds to the versatility of the pit. The wood fired oven, or pizza oven if you want to call it that, that thing has been so much fun. I've got a video doing a stromboli. That thing turned out fantastic. It really adds to the wood-fired flavor onto the crust when you can do it that way. That flame comes over the roof of that oven and kisses the top. You're getting that heat from the pizza stone on the bottom. I can't tell you how many times we've had for birthday parties. We usually have a birthday party every couple of months for family members who have had birthdays over those months. We all get together, and a couple of times we've had pizza parties. Every couple makes their own pizza, and they bring it out there to me. I've got the pit set at 700 degrees or so, and within 3 minutes that pizza is done. A wood-fired pizza straight off of a pellet grill. I don't know of any other pellet grill that can do that, to be honest with you. I've cooked pizzas on other pellet grills, and it's simply not the same. 3-minute pizzas, wood-fired. The stromboli, same way. And really you can do things, put wings in a cast iron skillet and slide them in that oven to get a nice crust on the top of that. Really anything that you want a little bit of wood-fired flavor, fire-kissed over the top. Casseroles, lasagnas, any of those things. Slide those in there, and it's basically a wood-fired oven, and you can use it that way. Versatility at another level with that wood-fired oven. So have I had any issues? Well, the first issue that I've had, I wouldn't call it an issue as far as YODER goes, but it's something to mention because it says something about the company, number one, and it says something about the consistency of their controllers. I know years and years ago they had an older controller, and some people I've heard say they loved the pit, but they didn't like the controller the way it used to be. Well, now it has a fireboard controller on it that works absolutely fantastic. But I did have lightning strike right next door, and when it did, it blew out my controller on the YS640. I still had it plugged in. It blew the breaker, and then it also fried my controller. So I called YODER. YODER sent me another one. I used their instructions to put the new controller in, and I did a video on it. You can find that on my channel as well. Very easy, but what I was concerned about, because I was really happy with the way the original controller performed, and I thought, okay, this is a replacement. Is the replacement going to be the same as the original, and is it going to perform the same? I cannot tell any difference at all between the original controller and the new controller that I have on there now after it got hit by lightning and fried everything. Zero difference. From start to finish, as soon as I started it up, it performed absolutely perfectly. It connected to my Wi-Fi perfectly, and it performs exactly like the original did. So that gives value to the consistency of the controllers that are being put into all of the the pellet grills that Yoder puts out, and I was really happy with that. The only other issue that I have had is with the Stay Cool handles. They started to rust, and I thought they're not supposed to rust. So I called Yoder, and they said, yeah, we've had a couple of batches that weren't produced properly, and so they sent me out a new set of the Stay Cool handles and actually sent me an extra one just in case. And I have it in the drawer because I haven't needed it. The other two, they look great, and I've had no issues since then. The only issue, and it's a small issue that I've had with the pit, and I wouldn't even call it an issue, it's just I guess a pet peeve of mine, because I like keeping all of my grills clean, and sometimes grease will leak from the little gap on the smokestack where it's put together, because you can move the smokestack, or you can remove the smokestack if you want to. Sometimes grease will leak from that point and leak onto my stainless steel shelf, and I have to wipe it off. I mean, if that's the biggest thing that I have a problem with, then we're doing pretty good. So I wish there was something I could do about that. Probably put a little gasket material around it or something, but it hasn't been enough of a big deal for me to do anything about it. It's just one of those things where I have to clean up every now and then. So the other thing that I see all the time is complaints about corrosion with the big steel American-made grills. And so, have I had any issues with corrosion? On the top of the lid on the back, right there where it was cut, there's starting to be a little evidence of some rust back there on that top corner, and I'll probably have to address it at some point, but it's partly my fault. The grill came with an outstanding cover for it, fitted. It's got all the cutouts and for the handles and the smokestack and everything. The material that it's made out of, it's not like a trash bag material or something. I mean, it's fabric, very well made, with some vents made in there with it to let it breathe a little bit, to lessen the condensation up underneath the cover. The problem is I don't use the cover much, and that's because I'm using the pellet grill 4 out of 7 days a week probably. And so I used to use it, but then I'd have to take it back off and then put it back on and then take it back off. And I was using the pit so much that I just quit putting it on there. Partly my fault, because you're going to get a little bit of rust on it at times. Is that a deal breaker for me? For me, it's not. And, you know, take it for what it's worth, but for me, the way I think about it, I'm just more realistic about that pit. It is I forget how much it weighs now. 800 pounds. I don't remember how much it weighs. I should have looked. It is solid steel. It's 1/4 inch thick, solid steel. And when you have moisture with steel, you're going to get rust. I'm realistic about that. Anybody that thinks that they're going to get one and it's not going to rust at some point, you're not being realistic. And but again, I keep it clean. I've got some stuff. I'll put in the description box some spray that I've sprayed it with that was recommended to me, and I spray it with that, and then I wipe it down, and it just kind of coats the steel. And please don't use this, because I'm not saying it is this, but it reminds me of like a WD-40 type spray. It's not WD-40, so don't use that. But I'll put a link in the description box of what I use. But it really coats everything and seems to protect it very well. But again, when you wipe that thing down and then you put some stainless steel cleaner on the shelves and everything, it is an absolutely beautiful pit. And again, I love it. And as far as corrosion goes, that's the only thing that I've had happen, that and the Stay Cool handles, which they replaced. And that's it. I mean, other than that, I've had zero issues. And with the amount of food that I have cooked on that pit, I mean, I can't complain at all. Would I recommend it? Not only would I recommend the Yoder Smoker YS640S, I would go as far as to say, even if you're going to be in the market for a pellet grill and you just want to start small because you're just starting out, as far as operation goes, there's no difference in operation between a $300 pellet grill from Walmart and that couple $1,000 YS640S. The difference is going to be you're going to buy 5 of those versus that one's the only one that you're ever going to have to buy in your life. And so I would recommend saving your pennies, going ahead and get that one and done, and enjoy it, hand it down to your kids so that they can hand it down to their kids. That's my honest opinion. Out of the other 15 pellet grills that I have owned, and I'll put a list up on the screen of all the ones that I've owned, there's not a single one looking back that I would recommend even close to being over that Yoder pellet grill. And I know that when I had some of those pits, you know, the old saying, you don't know what you don't know. Well, at that time, I didn't know what I didn't know. And I talked about some of those pits like they were the best thing since sliced bread. And now I compare those to this, and there isn't a comparison. You know, I tried to compare this pit to the new latest and greatest Traeger that they came out with, that Traeger Timberline XL, and man, there was no daggum comparison. I almost said a profane word. There's no comparison, zero comparison. Highway robbery. The Ironwood 650 that I just got rid of, even today, they're still trying to sell that pit for like $2,000, $1,800 to $2,000. That is absolutely insanity. It's robbery, is what it is. So, and I will say it for the rest of the life of this channel. If you can, there is a big difference between buying a Chinese-made grill and an American-made grill, and that Yoder is the bee's knees. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Let me know what kind of pellet grill you are thinking about purchasing, or let me know if you own a Yoder. Tell me your experiences. Everybody's experience is different. I can only tell you my experience, and this is honestly my experiences. No flame outs, zero. No backburns in the hopper, zero. The only issues that I've had, as I said, was had to replace the fireboard controller because it got hit by lightning. No fault of fireboard or Yoder. And I had to replace the stay cool handles because they were starting to rust, which shouldn't have happened. And Yoder gladly replaced those. Other than that, that's it. All I've done is sit back, hit the start button, let the smoke roll, put some meat on, and we have eaten well. That's it. Appreciate you stopping by. If you got value from this video, I would ask that you hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost anything at all. And I'm fixing to give you a sneak peek of a new pit that we have coming from Yoder. It's already here, and I've already been cooking on it, and it is on another level. And I can't wait to show you that, and that's coming up soon. Till next time, we'll be piddling. See you guys.